All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
BoJack Horseman, Season 4, Episode 5.
All right, that last episode was a frack of a time.
It really drilled its point home.
Yep, so now all the chaos of the last episode will spill into this one.
Yep. Just gush forth.
No.
Surge.
Hopefully,
Onward.
for the sake of PC, I want you guys to have a wonderful baby. I'm so hopeful.
Oh, yeah, right.
For
Change.
you.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, that's
yes.
right.
Wholesome fracking. Exactly.
Hey, what are you talking about? It was all.
And given that BoJack and his daughter Hollyhock are starting to build something, yeah, we can move things in a little bit of an incremental positive direction there, possibly.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe.
We can dream.
But yeah, Diane left a deal for Mr. Peanut Butter to deal with. This is going to cause some, you know, oh man, this is straight out of what's that political drama show with
West Wing?
Fucking the White House and Kevin Spacey. Damn it. I hate myself. I can't believe it.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. Yeah, their whole little run is going to collapse like a House of Cards.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. I was like...
Exactly. Infighting. That's why. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Sorry to interrupt.
Good, the bad, and the what?
There was another mass shooting.
Oh God, where?
A town outside Tampa called.
Not geographically, dipshit. What's the location? What is it? A pharmacy? A haberdashery?
It was a shopping mall.
We got Ms. Taken coming out next month.
I know.
And the
Oh
whole
my
third
God.
act revolves around Courtney Portnoy shooting people in a mall. What are we supposed to do now? What? Not release the movie?
Oh, good God, I hope it doesn't come to that.
Wow, Carla Mercedes-Benz Brown.
Yep,
My mother.
that's right. I lied.
What?
There's no Carla Mercedes-Benz Brown. I have no
That
idea
didn't last
who
long.
there is.
What?
I just don't want to have a relationship where we lie to each other. I'll do everything I can to help find your mom. Although, to be honest, moms aren't all that great. In fact, in my experience, they are soulless succubi born fully formed from the ass of Satan.
Oh, my grandmother sounds like quite a character. Can I meet her?
No, you cannot meet my mom because she's dead.
Oh.
Dead, Mom.
Damn.
I lied.
I lied again. My mom's not dead.
Yeah.
Stop lying to me.
That's like 15 minutes of lie. Plus, you don't want to meet my mom.
I do. Where does she live? Take me there.
Ah, fine.
For real this time?
Yes, I promise. I am not going to lie to you ever again.
Did you eat the last fudgesicle?
No.
8 seconds
I
later.
lied. I lied about the fudgicle.
Yeah. Oh my God, I
All
love
time
this.
You thought I was just another damsel in distress, but I'm afraid you were misguided.
You could have said the thing.
This is so sad. You always hear about mass shootings affecting other people's movie openings, but you never think they're going to affect your movie opening.
No.
Of course, my thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families.
Of course, yeah.
Holy.
Thoughts and prayers.
Wow.
This really puts things
Wow.
in perspective.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing sitting in a conference room?
BoJack?
Hi.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
sorry. I was an awful boyfriend to you. I was an awful client, and I was an awful friend. This last year, I spent some time away, and it made me realize how special the people in my life are. And you might be the most special of them all. Anyway, the real reason I'm calling is, do you remember the name of that super nice elder care facility that we both...
Wow. No. That's so.
Like a duck. It's called Walnut Springs.
Walnut Springs. I knew there was a W in there. Bye.
What did I miss?
He's pitching something.
Alfred was outlining his plan to curtail gun violence.
I'm just saying, if people have the right pumped up kicks, maybe they can outrun the bullet.
No. God. What?
Mrs. Horseman, you have a visitor.
Do I know you?
Here we go.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
Mom, I never visit. You got me.
Henrietta?
Okay, we're doing this.
No, she has dementia.
Oh,
yeah.
she knows. This is just like when she pretended not to recognize me after my shaky choir solo in 8th grade. I had to get a ride home with
God.
the pianist, who liked to tickle a lot more than just the ivories. When I made it home unscathed, she said, "Huh, I guess no one wants you."
Oh my God.
Maybe I could put something in that sweet mouth of yours so you don't have to talk so much.
Whoa! One more step, asshole.
Whoa, I was joking around. I don't want any trouble.
Tell your story walking.
What's that? I don't know.
know. My instinct just kicked in.
Why do you even have a gun?
Well, using it in the movie was so empowering, and now I just carry it everywhere. Do you
Finger off the trigger.
No, I am very anti-gun. In fact, I think the whole idea of guns is inherently... Holy shit, I'm holding a gun.
Would you like to try shooting it? We can go to my gun range.
You have your own gun range?
Of course she
I'm
does.
Courtney Portnoy. I have all the things.
The music.
Portnoy's toys.
Oh my god.
Going to gun ranges is incredibly fun.
Yeah. Wow.
We'll come back. Happy?
Where's my orange juice, slag?
See you next week.
Damn. I mean, she was abusive as hell, though. Like,
Yeah. Oh, no. I got no problem with what BoJack was doing.
Holding a gun.
Oh my god. Did I drive all the way home without realizing I was holding a gun? No wonder that guy at the gas station didn't charge me for the red vines. Did I rob a gas station?
Ah!
Classic Diane shenanigans. Or as I call them,
They're
Dianigans.
loose.
All right, be safe. Mwah.
Oh my god.
Let's get one thing out of the way right now. If you're a man, you're not gonna get it. Some of you think you get it. You want to get it. You listen, nod, and say all the right things when we tell you our stories. But you still can't actually know what it feels like to constantly have your guard up.
Yeah, that was the girl at the modeling thing.
Starting now, I'm doing what it takes to put the power in my own hands. That's why I own a gun.
All right. All right.
You could be thin too. Just go easy on the sweets, and when you go somewhere, don't walk, gallop.
Ice cold, Grammy Graham.
Morning time, Hollywood.
Ah! There's two of them.
And I'm a Billy Bush type.
It's possible, Jacob.
Well, I wouldn't want to be around one of those ladies at a certain time of the month, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god.
I don't. There has been another mass shooting. I am totally unqualified to cover a news story this important, but as a straight white male, I will plow forward with confidence and assume I'm doing fine.
Wow.
What if we played up the Miz and Miz Taken? In a world of increasing terror, our movie tells women they don't have to be afraid anymore.
Yeah, now you're talking.
When you put it that way, it almost sounds like all these mass shootings could be a good thing for the movie.
No, of course not. They're terrible tragedy, and my thoughts and prayers are with the victims.
Right.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. Yes.
Anything
Want women to feel unsafe.
Of course not.
Oh, nobody wants that. Nobody's saying that.
But if they already
But-
feel unsafe, there's no reason not to capitalize on that.
Right, if they already feel unsafe anyway.
Exactly. We're not making them feel unsafe. We're just profiting.
Well, in that case, I got good news and I got bad news. Bad news is you're going to want to avoid the 405.
Oh my god.
Wow.
BoJack.
Oh.
Mom?
Hush, Henrietta. That's my son on the television.
You know him?
I think I'd know my own son, wouldn't I?
You heard the boss, man. Guess you're going
The character
We'll have to pick you up at the
she connects to more than her actual son.
Oh. Yeah, she never saw the real him, just the performing him. But also,
Yeah.
he hasn't been to see her in so long that she... Yeah.
If you can frack under our house, I should get to have a gun.
All right, that's fair. You know, I'm not sure a way to keep our personal lives and our political lives compartmentalized.
Me too. You have no idea.
I have no idea.
Privilege
What is it with
so
humans
thick
and guns?
that you
people
really
are
think-
addicted to these
And what is it
things.
with men and not
come
wanting
on.
women to feel safe?
This is all their foreplay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fill my chamber with your powerful bullets.
Why?
Because you love that BoJack, right?
Well, he's not much of a son, but the show can be a comfort sometimes.
Only there was some way for her to connect the BoJack from the show with the BoJack who visits her every week.
Yeah, too bad we can't. Or can we?
Can we what?
Put on a
Reenact
live
an
episode of
episode.
Horsing
Yeah.
Around in the nursing home. Yeah, good thinking,
Yeah,
Molly
yeah.
Hawk. I'm gonna squeeze her hand and get real close and say, "Fuck you, Mom." Yeah, I can finally tell her off. I'm gonna say, look at you, you old piece of shit, running in a nursing home. Now I have the power.
That's what you want to say to her?
Oh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see the look on her face. Okay, let's do this. Let's put
She dies immediately. What? This Granny's got... Oh!
Oh my God.
Oh, damn!
All I'm saying is, maybe you shouldn't blame women for wanting guns. Maybe you should blame the constant societal messaging that tells us we are safe only as long as the men around us allow us to be. You can roll up your sleeves and actually work to create a society where women feel safe and equal. Or you can just ban all guns.
One productive legislative session later, yes.
The ayes have it. Possession of any firearm is now illegal in the state of California. We did it, boys.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I really thought that was gonna go the other way.
Wow, Diane, you just passed sensible gun legislation.
I can't believe this country hates women more than it loves guns.
I mean, it's California, not Texas.
That's true. That's true, actually. They really love the guns.
Too bad I could never run for president, because I love waffling.
What is this?
Olivia, you usually love my breakfast humor. Why so glum, Sugar Plum?
It's this algebra homework that gives me the blues. X-axis, Y-axis. Where's the why should I care axis?
Oh.
What are you doing?
BoJack, maybe we should stop.
We just started. I wonder if there's a way to make math fun.
Math will never be
She doesn't...
fun.
Yeah.
It's like a nightmare she can't look away from.
Make this stop! How do I turn this off? I am the heiress to the Sugarman Sugar Cube Company. You can't do this to me.
Oh!
Never get to watch what I want.
You think we should still finish the episode, or...?
Maybe not.
Once a resident becomes violent, we can no longer house them.
Can you recommend another facility?
Frankly, at your mother's rate of deterioration, she probably doesn't have much time left. I recommend she spend it surrounded by the people who care about her.
Okay, who
So-
are they? Do you have their number?
I was referring to you and your daughter.
Oh, if she really doesn't have much time left. But if we get to this time next year and she's still hanging on, you will be getting a very strongly worded letter, mister.
Hey, Beatrice, you hungry? I can make Pop-Tarts.
No, thank you.
You want to watch another Horsing Around episode?
What's the point?
Hmm.
Is that the same horse that was caring for...
You mean Bear?
Bear
Yeah.
that was caring for Herb?
I think it is, yeah.
But now she's gonna die, and she's never gonna know just how much I hate her.
I'm sure
Yep.
she knew, BoJack.
Yeah? You're not just saying that?
She read your book, didn't she?
Yeah, but
Yes, she did.
I really wanted to say it to her face.
Well, hey,
I
she's here
love
now,
this.
right? And she has good days and bad days. Maybe eventually she'll recognize you. And then you can totally rip into her.
You really think so?
Oh.
That was so sweat. And so...
Like...
Yeah. I don't know, I just want to pull her in close, and she's all like, oh, wait, so this feels like a vulnerable moment with my dad. And tell her, fuck you, you piece of shit.
Oh my God.
This
is cool. They tackled two really like mature and tough topics here.
Mm-hmm.
One, just gun violence in the U.S.
Sure.
Just in general. Really a huge thing. But then also what happens if you have an abusive parent, but they are now
They're now not the one in power.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Do you have some owing of them to take
Fuck
care
no.
of them because, they're a vulnerable, hurt, and, needing help human being?
Right.
Or is it they were an abusive
because they took
piece
care of
shit.
you and you.
Right. No, like,
Yeah, no,
like,
no,
the gun
this is
thing
great.
is actually simpler. Like,
Oh, no, way simpler.
Way simpler. And we got a whole nother fucking drill your bullets into me. Fuck. Sound bites I want to banish from my memory.
Yeah. See, it's the whole thing of, in the moment, just about anything sounds cool. From the outside perspective, all of it is like, oh my God.
All right.
This episode was also delightful.
Yes.
Wow.
It gave us quite a bit to talk about. We have BoJack's mom coming back.
Yep.
I love that we're now going with the angle of, she's not the one dominating the conversation now because she has dementia, and thus BoJack has to kind of almost listen to himself and fill the space, and then also have his daughter listen to him be like this, because she doesn't have the context, she doesn't know.
Yes.
And yet it's complicated.
And this
she is your mother, but still.
Oh yeah.
Like,
but this is such a wonderful way for them to be able to connect with each other in a real and vulnerable way, because it's not directly interacting with BoJack, right? There's essentially a different heel, and now BoJack can basically vent his frustrations that will give her a picture of the kind of, upbringing that he came from, so that she can better understand him, while he's trying to better understand himself with how he interacts with his mom, because he fucking hates her, because of course he does, right? And all of that with the then layer of indirection where we can have the comedy surrounding it, because BoJack, we can have the wholesome moments be like, yeah, I just want to tell her right to her face, fuck you, you piece of shit, and we can be like, it can be a moment of them coming together, father and daughter, right. While at the same time, the things that they're talking about, it's like, yes, not what you would traditionally expect to be a wholesome, cathartic experience.
Exactly. Yes.
So awesome.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yep.
And then the episode also just tackles gun violence.
Yeah, I mean, and I love that it's like they actually brought up something that I thought was really cool, while at the same time showcasing that no, it's very straightforward. But they even did the whole thing of having characters in the show become fans of guns, because guns are really fucking cool. If you have never gone to a gun range, it's a ton of fun. But then no, here's a situation where then suddenly women don't have to feel scared because they've got a gun, and so now it's the things are on a more level playing field, right? But then
suddenly all the men in politics
we can't have women have guns.
Just one killing from a woman with a gun is one too many.
Yeah.
We need to pass legislation to prohibit gun violence. How can we do that? Well,
it's
make
California.
it illegal for women to have guns.
Well, no, make it illegal for everyone to have guns. Because, you gotta, it's not because they're women. No.
Yeah, what if a man is convinced by a woman to buy her a gun?
What if a man has a gun, but a woman gets her hands on it? Are those guns being held in secure storage? What if the bullets are kept in the same safe as the weapon?
Guys, it's so sick and so funny. But then, the fact that then,
thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Yes, it's a magic catchphrase. It reminds me of the way that they were delivering that thoughts and prayers. Reminds me of the Key and Peele sketch where it's the
in my prayers.
The old ladies talking about how they're gonna fuck up Satan, and then they're like,
and they literally just
with my prayers.
Yeah,
exactly. With my prayers.
Yeah, with my prayers. Yeah, no, that's a great connection. That's
I mean, it's ridiculous, but okay. So then having the the misogyny is so ingrained that rather than make some kind of a general, more nuanced change, we're just going to just ban all guns.
Ban all guns, which I think is also fantastic because it's even giving the nods to the people that say, and they're probably correct, even though it's the, hey, read the room, practical, let's talk about this, yes, is there deeper issues that then causes the violence to happen with guns? Sure, but in the situation where in the immediate sense people are dying, maybe we figure out the nuanced approach once the immediate crisis is dealt with.
Like let's take this trend and bring the graph down here and get things moving in that direction, and then we can sort out the specifics and stuff.
But that was so delightful, and I love that Diane has a kind of on a similar way that like Todd will like have an impact on the episodes and things like that. I feel like Diane now has her place here, so that way it's like she can do things in the episodes. It doesn't just have to be about how she feels like, I'm sort of the outsider in all of the things that are happening, right? Since she's not writing BoJack's book anymore, since she's, like she doesn't have as much of a main plot role in the show anymore.
Right.
And yet, here's ways in which she can still be involved, given that her character is a lot more serious than, say, Todd and Mr. Peanut Butter, where they can get wrapped up into the hijinks and have it sort of it's easier to do because it doesn't need to have as big of an impact because they're comedic characters. Whereas here, since Diane is a serious character, if she's going to get wrapped up in something, then it would be something that would be serious. So then it can be a little bit more complicated to do. But they're doing it, and it's great. So keep it up. I love it.
And also, now, this is just something that they're cool with. As a couple, Mr. Peanut Butter doesn't care if she writes a hit piece on him because it's going to get them to verbally process all their frustrations with each other and thus get them into a vulnerable place emotionally so that then they see each other for who they really are and thus can fuck the shit out of each other, which is hilarious.
And I love that it went from the hey, that's embarrassing if we air our dirty laundry to the point where fuck everybody else. We're the ones that matter here. Our relationship is what matters. So if things seem to be blowing up in a way that would make people very self-conscious and embarrassed and things like that, no. They'll go ham, having a full, politically, incited lovers spat on TV, right? And the moderator is very uncomfortable. And they don't give a shit. And
in some ways, what I think is really cool about that is that if you have them going through this here, this is going to help Mr. Peanut Butter win because it's going to show how normal they are.
How normal he is, but also there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Nowadays,
there is, especially when, but as far as name recognition and things like that, so that way the people that
plenty of airtime, that's for sure.
The people that might like Mr. Peanut Butter will know about Mr. Peanut Butter, as opposed to what a lot of the situations is where the people that might like you, they don't know who the fuck you are, and so
that's probably one of the biggest, saddest things that this episode especially kind of brings up is the idea that a lot of people are just non-participants in the political space of things.
Sure.
For a myriad of reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But the idea is that in a lot of ways, people are spending exorbitant amounts of money on the marketing kind of space of things just to get the name in people's minds.
Yeah.
And that's how...
this is season 4. I can't wait to get to season 5 and 6 where the kinds of things that they'll be able to comment on. I'm already waiting for the
even more relevant and more present time stuff.
The alpha male episode is going to be so good.
The alpha male podcast, red pilled,
it's going to be fantastic.
Grind set kind of bullshit. Oh my god, yeah.
That is going to be amazing.
That's going to be something else.
But the bit though with his mom being like, "Oh, that's my son on TV."
Yeah, can we go into that? Because I have a really I mentioned it in the reaction, but I
think you're onto it.
Yeah. So I think I've got at least a piece of the puzzle here. I think that the mom watched the show religiously. I think she watched every single episode. Because BoJack was successful on Horsing Around.
Yeah.
Even though you could say that it wasn't
her kind of success that she wanted
for him. It wasn't Ibsen or whatever. You know?
Right.
BoJack found a niche, and he was funny, and he was engaging,
and people liked him.
People liked it, and thus, if she looked at it from the objective sense, he built a career off of this one show.
Right.
Thus, she probably felt, even in her egotistical, narcissistic kind of self, that she's like, yes, my son is the lead actor in a Hollywood, silver star production. It's quite impressive if you don't. And probably bragged about the fact that he was rich and famous to the people, and also then bit back at him whenever he came around to maintain the power dynamic that she needed to have over him in order to feel good about herself.
And I imagine even the fact that she would berate him both publicly and in her own mind, that probably helped with the egotistical posturing, because then she can be like, oh, he's not in anything great. It's just a hit show, it's whatever,
And yet, the fact that when the dementia sets in, she essentially shows her true self. She never cared about BoJack.
Nope.
She never cared about BoJack.
Yeah.
And thus he's Henrietta.
Right.
And but she did actually care about horsing around because that made her look good.
Right. And I love that, so when she sees the picture of him as a little kid, she still doesn't recognize him in the little picture. which I think is maybe
she never cared about it.
Right, exactly. It's that little bit of confirmation that, because what I was thinking for a bit before I like remembered that is that, oh, maybe it's that she hasn't seen him in so many years that she doesn't know what he looks like now. But she doesn't even recognize him when he was a kid.
But I have the other piece now from
Okay.
4-2. The reason why she never connected with her oldest son was because her mom had all that happen to her because she lost her oldest son.
Okay.
And it's something that she has subconsciously inferred by the way that she was raised by her mother.
Yeah.
And thus was told, never love anybody, never do any of this stuff. And
Sure.
she took that to the letter. And, BoJack, of course, is just an innocent kid who's basically fucked from the start with regards to his mom.
Mm-hmm.
But we now understand the direct mechanical reasons as to why she doesn't just not care about BoJack, but then, of course, also might have aggressively distanced herself emotionally as any semblance of care for BoJack started to creep up because she was his mother.
I like it.
So if she starts caring about him from the career sense, like you need to make something of yourself, be a performer. That's kind of what her mother prioritized, so she passes that on. But if BoJack starts succeeding in some way, she might start to care about him. So she has to then berate him in order to keep those two truths in context.
So, I like that.
Yeah, I think this is just a piece of the puzzle.
Piece of the puzzle. Yeah. So taking something else out there, see how it mixes together with that. Right. The vibe that I got from the 4-2 episode was that the reason that she became so obsessed with, theater and performance and all that stuff is because she wanted to get some attention from her mom that she didn't get in general, but then once she got the lobotomy, she especially didn't get it. So,
well, okay, we don't know that for sure.
Well,
the lobotomy might have actually been what made that be where she could actually oh, yes, wonderful.
No, right, yeah. But the mom was always.
Oh, she's gone at that point, basically, or
no, yeah, exactly. So it's the by that point it's the my mom is gone, but as a kid you don't understand that fully. You just know that she seems different, and so you try and do the things to get to make her feel better or to whatever, right? And of course none of that shit works, and it fucks her up in all kinds of ways, right?
Right.
And so then BoJack comes along. She's the mom now, right? Oh, I hope you never. I hope you die before I do, so that you never have to, feel what it's like to lose a mother, right?
Right.
Oh, now you have to perform. Maybe it's something where it's the reverse now because she hates the situation that she's in, and so she's like, now you must distract me. The thing, I feel dead inside or whatever, right? And so now this is your responsibility, this is your role, and now I'm just seeing the ways in which you basically do not properly, you're not diverting enough from my situation.
Sure, you could go that angle. I like that angle because it puts her into a position where she still feels like she's in power and control, and he's there to make her feel a little bit better, and thus she's punishing him in the same way that she feels like she was punished by her mother.
And yet it, from her angle, from her perspective, it could be something where she's like, no, I'm actually helping. I'm actually helping because I'm actually paying attention to him. I'm actually trying to.
Damn it.
My mother didn't give a shit. After that happened, she was gone. She was dead. Whereas I'm actually saying, no,
sure.
You got ice cream on your pants. How? You can't do that, right?
There is an element that's really interesting. I talked back about this. I wish I went back to this at some point when I was growing up, but there was something that I did when I was around 16, 17, and I don't know why I did it, but there must have been some kind of really good inspiration for it. But I interviewed older people.
Oh, I did too, yeah.
Yeah. And I interviewed older people, and I was like, hey, what would you tell yourself if you were my age? And a lot of the people that were parents specifically, ended up realizing that they passed on basically the hurt that they received from their parents to their kids. And they wished basically that they had been more active and conscientious in that area to break potential cycles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so what if this is a thing where consciously that's what she's thinking, but
Okay.
subconsciously she ends up punishing BoJack in the exact same way because it's now you have to experience what I went through. There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that resentment that could bleed through in the actual resentment she has for BoJack. But then it's that wasn't what she was intending. Like you're saying, she could have been thinking that it's I'm actually helping you.
Because I feel like the times when people cause the most hurt, not just in like abusive relationship type situations, but just in general, right? It's when you're actively not thinking about the effect of what you're doing. And the times that I find for myself that happens the most is because I think I'm doing the right thing. So I'm not thinking about that at all because I'm like, no, I'm doing the right thing. And then it's like, oh fuck, I didn't realize that's actually not helpful, not, fill in the blank, right? And so if you have a situation where someone comes from a really messed up upbringing, right? And they aren't even able to really deal with their own shit, then of course that gets passed along because, that's they're working on a faulty foundation, right? Like it's and yet they know that something's wrong, but they don't necessarily know what's wrong or how to go about dealing with that, So it's the both I'm trying to help this person not have to go through the shit that I went through, but also not realizing the fact that my own metrics for figuring out what's good for them is coming from this fucked up place that was messed up because of what happened to me,
Yeah.
Like the casual thing that BoJack, threw out of like, oh no, when we were going back from like she had the pianist drive me back home and
like to
tickle more things than piano keys, and when I got away unscathed, she just said, well,
I guess nobody wants you.
I guess nobody wants you.
I guess really nobody wants you.
Really nobody wants you. Like that kind of shit. That informs so much of BoJack, right? And we only hear about it like now, over halfway through the show, right?
Yeah, there is a really, this is kind of going a bit too meta, but this is something that I really applaud the showrunners, show writers, and people all working on this story to be able to have here, is that because we've taken the generational approach to the trauma specifically, rather than there was a singular event that was something that catalyzed.
Everything was fine until...
Right, exactly. We end up being able to have written in, at any point in the story, just more shit that BoJack hasn't dredged up.
Yep.
But the actual characters of his parents are themselves defined. They have specific things that we wouldn't necessarily be able to believe if they were out of character. If they added in something later and they're like, that just sounds out of character. But the fact that that's something that was added in just now and it doesn't feel out of character for his mom shows that the people that made sure that we're going to write this person, or his mom, still made that able to be pulled off is incredibly praiseworthy, but also just incredibly depressing for this story.
And that wasn't like,
and is basically there for a joke. Like
And on top of that, we have the other one that I loved, where it was I can't remember what the mom said at the beginning, but it's if you want to get like knocked around or something, just do what I do and read some of your father's work and tell him it's
the prose is awful, basically.
The prose is awful and it's uninspired and and all that stuff. That's what I do, and it's like I don't have a response for that, like
and she did that intentionally to get knocked around,
right?
Like
it's
like there's times that I feel like there's a time for the empathy and sympathy where you kind of just go, oh wow, my feelings are evoked here. But there's also the other time where it's I can't imagine how many people potentially have to go through having parents or a parent or a guardian or someone who raised them like that in even the slightest bit.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean,
just
I remember growing up when I first realized that like that was a thing that happened, you know? Like not even to this kind of extreme degree, but just
abuse in general.
Just abuse in general. Just the idea that you could have someone where they had an actively bad relationship with their parent, like, you know, growing up.
Right. And even just in the like minor bits of like verbal abuse, like
exactly.
The lightest touch of what
stuff
you could
that's
even
not going to make
abuse,
you right.
You know?
The stuff that's not going to make you think, you know, you need to call a CPS agent or something.
No.
You know,
but just the kind of thing of where you're like, wow, you're a person with flaws that are like actively being exacerbated on your kids. Wow, that's really immature.
Like, oh, you just seem like a bad parent, like and bad person, but you know, like specifically bad parent. That was something.
You can be a good person but be a bad parent.
Oh yeah,
like and some people just aren't good parents.
And you can be a bad person but a good parent.
That's also true. Somehow, you know.
Yeah, Hitler was great with kids. But like that was something that was so shocking to me as a kid because you know we grew up with like pretty great parents, you know.
Yeah.
And so
normal people with flaws.
Yeah, normal people with flaws, but like they were pretty dang good parents.
Yeah.
And so it was just one of those things that just kind of it was the uncanny, like this doesn't make sense to me, you know. And yet like so I like that here BoJack's daughter is able to see these aspects of himself where not because I want them to necessarily get super close, because I still feel like with where BoJack is, I don't really want that to happen entirely, but I feel like that will inform her own perspective so that hopefully she'll be able to keep herself a bit more safe emotionally with regards to the interactions with him, you know?
She's absorbing and handling things so well. Like, I love the way in which she's basically being brought in as like I'm actually got a pretty decent head on my shoulders as far as things
Her 8
go.
dads did a good job.
Yeah, like pretty dang good job. Like there were definitely some signs of some things where we were like, oh, you're not like
the faults and flaws that she has, right? She might not be a healthy person, but oh hey, from an emotional standpoint, she's doing
too
great.
Bad. Yeah. But wow. All right, so BoJack's mom is living with him.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
You know what? Something I just realized would be a very dark but very realistic thing to have happen. I just kind of realized it, but it was something that this episode was talking about violence and stuff and how like quick things can change and stuff. I just had a dark picture of if they wanted to have a really fucked up thing for BoJack to do, but something that would make sense for him to do. I think I could imagine him killing his mom.
I could see it.
Yeah. Giving her too many pills. Giving her like, you know.
Sure.
Just
especially
something that, you know, just something to drink that would just cause her to get too excited.
Well, because one of the
heart attack or something.
The main thing that comes to mind when I think of this new development, since his daughter is the one that's sort of pushing for it, yes, this could theoretically go great.
This could theoretically go really well.
But it could also go very badly. And given that BoJack is in a situation where he's getting better, but you know, he doesn't need a more challenging environment.
No.
This seems like
this is a big
powder keg waiting to happen.
Yes.
Right.
The kinds of things that I can think of are she snaps back, she remembers.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, you.
Right.
And then it's he gets upset.
Yep. And yet at the same time, I could see even those bad aspects of it potentially being good for BoJack in the long run.
Yes.
Because then it's something where he's actually confronting his trauma. And if he tells her to fuck off and you're a piece of shit, and I'm glad I forgot which nursing home I put you in.
Yeah.
You know, that's him facing it. That's him dealing with it in some way. Right.
This is one that I actually would really love to see a lot of people's thoughts on the, you know, how much do you owe your parents when they're in their old age? Irrespective of their level of emotional relationship with you,
right?
Just in terms of, the stuff, because they're the ones that raised you, you know.
Yeah, I feel like
they're your blood, you know. What kind of stuff are you owed? Because I think culturally there are very different things that people have to say on that. And I'm curious about that.
It makes me think of Diane's article where it's hey, men, you don't get it, right?
Yes.
You might think you get it, but you don't.
Right.
You know. That's that same thing, but in this situation, right?
Like,
if you have good parents, you can't know what it's like to have a shitty parent, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You might think you know, but you don't.
But
you might be
don't.
understanding and empathetic to the people who do and do all the right things,
but
you
you've
don't,
never experienced it.
You don't know it, right?
Yeah. I think that's a really great simple writing way to also. It's a great tag beginning bit for an article. Is basically if you have a situation where you're trying to let people know, hey, I need you to listen.
Right.
I need you to really engage with me and listen here. Letting them know essentially that, hey, this is something that you think you know. You think you have a handle on, but you don't. I am about to give you the hard details as to why you don't get it, but I need you to admit there's a problem essentially here before you're able to actually like go with me on this journey.
One of the things that I loved about that bit of Diane's article is that like I remember the first time that this got communicated to me, because oftentimes when, you know, I would hear the kind of stuff like Diane had in the article of like, hey, you know, you don't get it. It's like I would think that meant that I was doing something wrong. You know, right? Sure. And it's like, oh, well, shit, what am I doing wrong? I thought I was doing good. You know, and it's like, no. That's making it about you.
Right.
That's not. Stop doing that.
Yeah, just listen.
Just listen, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that because that has not been your lived experience, you cannot truly understand.
It's not about
the fact that you do your best to understand is very important and appreciated, but there's still going to be those things that you don't get. Right. Yeah. And so acknowledging that and doing your best to at least understand that is
so
a big deal, and it's very helpful, and so you can listen. And so, that was just another thing from Dan's article that I thought was great. And because and the fact that they had a character actually read it out loud felt like it was very much no, this isn't just a funny, goofy background bit of text, you know, for a joke. No, this is actually a serious thing that we're putting in here.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Good episode. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you got an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about animated shows in general. And also be sure to check out my Baldur's Gate 3 Let's Play on Twitch. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.